Bouncing is definitely here, not all here.
The attitude towards people is that you got to be nice to them.
They're there to have fun, and you're there to service them.
You're not there to frighten them away.
You gotta be a people person.
Form a relationship.
Stand there, nice and pleasant.
Courteous and cordial.
Well-mannered.
Very respectful.
As nice as possible.
Articulate.
Considerate.
Sensitive.
Warm.
Happy.
But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
I try to be nice.
You gotta do what you gotta do. We gotta do what we gotta do.
They call us bouncers. That's a pretty good name, really, because everybody knows what a bouncer is in the clubs and the pubs, and they know that they chuck her out.
When people come up to me, they'll be like, "Excuse me, are you the bouncer?" I'm like, I look at them and I feel like telling them
It makes you feel like an idiot.
It makes you feel like an idiot, exactly.
You just stand there like you're a pole. You know? We're human beings, we're doing our job, you know, we're here to keep the peace, you know?
Yep.
And people's like, oh, you're the security man, the bouncer?
Horrible. It's horrible. It's cheap. It's cheap and it's embarrassing. But the young kids today, they love it because they seem to think bouncer means tough guy.
I'm very proud to be called a bouncer. You know, it tells something about me. That's what I do. I toss people around. I fucking gone to the clubs and knocked 3 and 4 guys out and boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, everybody's down on the ground and shit, and I'm like, shit, you know, that was quicker than saying hello. I wish if I had my way, I'd just go around smacking people I don't like, but it's not good for work. I hope and pray. I'm like, man, I hope this guy does something. I love to put my foot up his ass. I could only sit there and hope that you cross the line.
Well, I used to mine the toughest clubs in Britain, all over the country. I had about 20,000 barroom brawls. All the young kids out there, they want to make a name for themselves. And I've retired. But you never know, so I keep well and I'm fast. And I'm always thinking, and I'm always on the ball. 48.
Meaningless, you mean it's all been meaningless?
Everybody in the country knows me. When I'm driving along and they go, Lenny, I'll go, Bosh, #1.
I'm Mike DeMeo.
I'm Frank DeMeo. We're twin brothers. We've been bouncing for 12 years.
Yeah, and everybody knows us as the Twin Bouncers, you know. We're very known in the business. If people don't know us, they at least heard of us or seen us around.
Yeah, everybody knows us.
To me, a tan makes you look 100% better. I mean,
And I don't do it just for to look good on my job. I do it for my everyday.
Yeah, my personal,
personal
self-enjoyment, I call it. Because tanning, when I tan, it relaxes me when I come here, and it just, it's like women when they do their nails or they get pedicures or whatever. To me, tanning is like for a guy. It just makes you look better.
Even though you spend money on it, because tanning is expensive. But it's anything that makes you look good.
How often do you do it?
Tanning, four days a week.
Yeah, 3-4 days a week.
3-4 days a week.
Me and Oliver worked together, this other guy. So, anger and sorrow, they used to call us. That you judge yourself, why they meant that.
Which one were you?
Anger. I don't think it's a job for Christians to do. People who believe that the Lord Jesus Christ is Messiah, I don't think it's a job for them to do. because you have to come in and use physical force and backing it up maybe with weapons. It's not, but I've done it, and in the long run I pay for it.
It's kind of ironic that the place where I work at is called Dreams. I have personal dreams of my own that has nothing to do with the club. My dreams when I was growing up was to be a professional bodybuilder, to compete for the Mr. Olympia title. But along the way, things happened, so I became a bouncer instead. The way I look at it, bouncing has compensated for my shortcomings of not becoming a bodybuilder. And I still get to be on the stage. My little world is a little close where I work at. But one day I hope to get a chance to work in a big city so I can be more visible and eventually be successful like Mr. T was, because he himself was a former bouncer. Maybe star in a few movies, be recognized for my strength and my size.
All I've ever known all them years, all I've ever known is violence, 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 violence. I fucking hate violence. I detest it. But I'd done it for 40 years or 30 years in the club world. But I'd done it to put food on the table.
The average pay was $100 a night.
It's terrible money. The average is £50 a night. Some people work up the road here in the club and they work from 9 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning for £70. My goodness, it's slave labour.
The standard pay is $100 a shift, so there's obviously got to be some hidden loyalty or dedication, a sense of dedication to the job or to the craft.
I like to do it, I'm not gonna lie to you, I like it. Yeah. There's some type of excitement around that keeps me in there, and it keeps me up with the times too, the music, and you know, it keeps me up like what's in, you know?
Where anybody's drinking alcohol, of course it's tense because you know they come in nice guys. They have drinks, and after the fifth drink, I don't know what it is, they want to be tough guys. Why? Why do you want to be a tough guy? You got a £500 suit on. Why do you want to be a tough guy? You get your suit rich, you wind up smothered in blood. How is that a good night out?
He put his teeth right in my back, and I was like, I felt excruciating pain because I felt them biting me. And then I just went over and I felt the hair, and I grabbed them down. I pulled them and I started beating the shit out of them. And then after that, we threw them all out, but I made sure I messed them up before I threw them out.
Bouncers are not primarily allowed to hit no one. We're only allowed to restrain someone and carry them out of the premises. That's it, bottom line. So someone who brings in emotions into the job is wrong.
It's more violent now in the 90s out there than it's ever been.
I love the violence. The violence is the best part of it. If there was no violence, then I wouldn't be bouncing. You know, I'd be fucking home picking flowers or something. After being there a couple of hours, you start to get tired when you're not doing anything. But the minute a fight comes about, man, it's like the adrenaline flows in there and you're fucking boom. When there's fights, I don't mind being there till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. When there's nothing really happening, I don't want to be there. The violence is what keeps me motivated.
Somebody asked me one time, how do you take a person out of the club? I says, quite easily. How's that? I says, unconscious. One shot in the jaw, and that's usually the end of the story.
couple times they say we go overboard, like we might overbeat the guy, you know, but sometimes it's just you can't help it.
Yeah.
You can't help it because you're so angry. You just want to kill this bastard.
As soon as there was trouble, I would turn in a second from a nice guy to a raving lunatic.
It's impossible to kick my ass because in order to kick my ass, you gotta be willing to die. And I don't think anybody gets dressed at night and goes out to a club to die. Once you start me off, there's no end. Exhaustion doesn't set in, pain, it's irrelevant to me. I'm just a machine.
We're at Dreams International in Queens, New York. Dreams International, I don't know why they call it international. There's only one of it in Queens. My job duties consist of me working at the door, frisking the patrons as they come in, and also searching the bags and also the purses of the dancers that, you know, work in this place. The most serious problem that I might encounter here at Dreams would be, you know, guys, they they're drunk first of all. Then they want to go too far with the girls, like trying to penetrate their vagina, like sticking their finger up in their vagina. Try to pull out their penis and try to have sex with them actually on the floor. I have to physically remove the guy from the premises right there on the site because that's against house rules. We don't really have any real life-threatening situations here. I would prefer to work in a city where I can really apply my skills as a bouncer. This place here is a little too calm and mild.
He's the bouncer, I'm the doorman. Whatever I say goes. I got the brain, he's got the muscle. You know, I decide who comes in, who doesn't come in. And if I say that somebody's not coming in and he's being stubborn with me, I step back and he steps in for me.
It's King, I'm the doorman. Used to be a bouncer. The difference is you get a lot more perks. I get free clothes, women hitting on me, people throwing me tons of cash. When I was a bouncer, basically all you have to deal with is the idiots and the assholes you have to throw out.
I've said to people, no, you can't come in, we're full up. And they're pulling a gun out, they want to put a bullet in me nut. Why? Because you're on drugs, you're drugged up, you want to put one in my nut, because I said you can't come in the club. Where's their brains? So I used to get fuming.
When I was growing up and I didn't work in clubs, my motto was either I get a piece of ass or I'm gonna kick some ass. They were both just as equally satisfying for me. You know, I felt like, fuck it, I wrecked somebody, you know. Gave you bragging rights when you hung out with your boys and shit.
His muscles weren't a turn on. I actually thought of him as a muscle head, you know. He's just got this aura about him. He attracts like everything and everybody. Physically, hey, look at him. He's a very gorgeous man, and I adore him.
Every single person has a story on why they think they should be allowed in. I don't believe 90% of them. Well, the standard line to try and get in is saying keys. Everybody either has keys for somebody or somebody has their keys inside. That never works.
I'm a cousin of a friend. Don't you know me? I knew you like 3 or 4 years ago from Club Underground. Rihanna, you fucked up my brother, my brother's friend. We made up.
I think one of the funniest lines I've heard of someone trying to get in the club was saying that they're Madonna's hairdresser. Madonna must have about 150 hairdressers. For how many times I've heard that line?
You guys on the guest list? We're not on the guest list actually, but I'm a friend of Carson, the bartender here. I met him and Ivan over at Warhawks last night. Who's the bartender? Carson. Yeah, we don't have a Carson working.
There's no Carson working as a bartender?
No.
So we just met this guy who was lying to us last night?
I don't know.
There is a big difference.